All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges, and then we will set your conditions of pretrial release. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as we sit here this morning, I presume that you're innocent of the allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you throughout the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. As I mentioned, we'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint a PD to represent you this morning. You have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Everybody's got to raise their right hand, or you can all sit there. If your neighbor's asleep, smack him and wake him up.
Right hand.
Solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Ashley Churchill. Morning, Miss Churchill. What's your date of birth?
1/30/91.
This morning, 4 counts of forgery of a check and 4 counts of uttering false instrument. There's probable cause for those counts. As to those charges, if you want to represent yourself, if you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
I asked for a public defender.
Okay. I'll appoint the PD. State.
Judge, I am showing a FTA 6/2/2017 out of Hernando. That's it.
Okay. All right. I think she has some new similar charges that are pending as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't think, when I'm looking, if I'm correct, at the offense date,
Yeah.
they told me in my paperwork that the offense date of that one was 2/16, and that appears to be the same as this.
I think so. Ash, I have an address for you on Shady Oaks Villa Circle. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 4 years.
Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm at home with my son.
All right, I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each of the 8 counts. That's a total of $4,000. I'll send these back on the 9th of March, which is where your other cases are. Looks like they told you the 26th, but we'll move to the 9th. If you bond out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was the toner B docket?
Yep.
Thank you.
Lori Ferrugia, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Lori. What's your date of birth?
12/3/1963.
Lori, the charge is ag battery with a deadly weapon being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Or would you like the public defender?
A public defender for today. If there's a problem, I would like a private lawyer.
That'll That'll be up to you. I'll appoint the public defender. State if you tell me.
Judge, I do have out-of-state history in New York. I have it's hard to tell on the conviction part, but I do show a burglary, illegal entry with criminal intent, possession of hypodermic needle instrument, criminal possession of controlled substance, and resisting arrest. And that was, that is an older charge. That's from 95, 96.
Okay. And that's it?
Not in, and then I'm showing 2001 Hernando County a criminal registration. I don't know if there's another name that it's not picking up.
Okay.
That would have other history.
Okay. All right. Lori, I've got an address for you on Hawthorne Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, I live in Sarasota.
Okay, what's the address?
1064 North Tamiami Trail, Sarasota.
I tell you what, if you back off that microphone, I might be able to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
What's
I live in Sarasota.
All right,
Sarasota.
What's the address?
Sarasota.
If you stop talking over me, that'll help too, okay? What's the address?
1064 North Tamiami Trail, Sarasota, Florida, 34236.
Super. Are you working these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm an administrative assistant for Wells Fargo.
Excellent. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Mr. Tozy. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person. If you interrupt me again, I will fine you in contempt and sentence you to 6 months in the county jail. Are we clear? Say yes if we're clear.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You don't have a third person contact him. You don't go where he lives. You don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do it. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. I'm going to have you back in court on the 26th of March. If you're going to stay with the public defender, make sure you contact them when you get out. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Sade Rogers Jarrett. Want to miss what your date of birth?
9/23/85.
Charge this morning is driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, and it looks like she's got an open CT case, which I'm guessing is driving on a suspended license.
Yes, sir, and possession of a suspended or revoked driver's license. I would ask for an RCO.
Right. Let's see. Okay. So, Ms. Rogers Jarrett, what we're going to do is on this case, which has been, the arrest was as a felony, I'll leave the bond at the $2,000. This one is coming back on the 26th of March. Job number one when you're out on bond on a criminal charge is don't pick up new criminal charges, especially don't pick up the same criminal charge. It appears to me that you have done that, so pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in case number 17, CT 4395. I'm going to hold you without bond at least until the 13th of March. That's when you'll be back in front of Judge Ruby on your misdemeanor charge. You can resolve your case then if that's possible, and she could revisit your bond at that point if that made sense. But in either event, the public defender will be out to see you before both of your court dates in March, all right?
I thought my court date was March 5th.
March 13th. It would not be the 5th. That's not a regular day. You'll be back on the 13th. Thank you. Summer Scott. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
08/24/95.
Ms. Scott, you're hearing a warrant was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for one count of violation of an injunction. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I have a public defender, Jamie Kane.
Okay, I'll appoint the PD. State what you think.
Judge, I do believe she is currently on a felony PTI. Also, she has a May 2017. That charge that I'm telling you she's on PTI appears to be burglary with conveyance with an assault or battery.
Okay, that's it?
Yes, sir.
And
Well, there's a juvenile case that was dismissed. She looked like she did diversion.
okay. Summer, I have an address for you on Cobblestone Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you lived there?
About a year.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a server.
Okay, where do you do that?
I work at Strike City right now.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of bond, of course, is that you abide by that injunction. I'll have you back in court on the 21st of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Kyle Ehat. Morning, Kyle. What's your date of birth?
8/31/83.
Kyle, this morning you had 2 counts, ag assault and a battery, a misdemeanor battery. There's probable cause for the 2 counts. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
2002 cannabis, 2002 burglary of conveyance, grand theft, 2003 probation violation, 2004 resisting, insufficient funds or check, 2006. 2010 charges listed as intimidating, threatening a victim or witness, and possession of paraphernalia convictions, probation violation. On 2012, larceny, burglary, paraphernalia. 2014, arrest for battery and domestic battery dropped. 2014, burglary with assault or battery and cruelty to a child. I see a conviction of the burglary. I see probation violations. A 2016 possession of controlled substance conviction and paraphernalia conviction, dwellers conviction, and then an FTA February 2017 here in Fernando.
And Kyle's got an address for you now on Plumbago Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yep.
How long you been there?
Like 2 weeks?
You got a job these days?
Nope.
Okay.
Judge, can I say one other thing?
Yep.
I'm also showing 2012 out of Georgia, 2 battery cases.
Kyle, I'm going to leave your bond for the schedule, which is $2,000 on the assault, $1,000 on the battery. The total is $3,000. Condition of the bonds is that you'll have no contact with Mike Haslam. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yep.
Did you understand that?
Yep.
Very good. Have you back in court on the 26th of March. If you get out, go see the PD. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail. Thank you.
Yeah.
James Francois. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/23/89, sir.
Good. James says 2 charges this morning, possession of marijuana and a felony arrest for driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for the charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please. There's no way to solve this today.
Not the way it's charged, unfortunately, James.
Judge,
Okay.
2009 FTA and possession of controlled substance conviction, 2009 FTA, 2010 FTA, 2011 FTA, 2011 another FTA at a Pasco, Another 2012 Pasco FTA. 2012 possession of controlled substance conviction and battery on a Leo conviction and possession of cannabis. 2012 Hernando FTA. 2013 Hernando FTA. 2013 2013 Pasco FTA. Felony petty theft in 2013 and trespass. Another theft in 2013. Felony petty theft, paraphernalia, and trespass convictions in 2014 Hernando. Another felony theft and trespass 2015. Possession of controlled substance. I'm showing the registration, and then 2017, May 2017, an arrest, and then I'm showing conviction for driving license suspended habitual traffic offender.
Okay. Jim, we got an address for you on County Road 496 in Lake Panasoffkee. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
I've been there a couple months, 3 months.
You got a job these days?
Yeah, I'm a supervisor for a commercial spray company, painting houses.
I'm going to leave your bonds per the schedule, which is $1,000 on the marijuana, $5,000 on the driving. The total is $6,000. I'll have you back in court on the 26th of March. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Slide over.
Austin Gonsalves. Wanted, sir, what's your date of birth?
I'll call 9/11/95.
Austin, 2 charges locally, providing false name and resisting without. There's probable cause for those charges. I also have a warrant out of Pasco County. Apparently you failed to appear in court on a Pasco County charge. The judge that issued that warrant set a bond of $5,013. As to the local charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
2014 FTA of Pasco. 2014 FTA Pasco. Violation of pretrial release. Conviction of Pasco 2015. Another violation of condition of release. No disposition shown December 2016. There's also been I'm showing a shoplifting 2017 in Hernando, and then a probation violation because of that.
Okay. And Austin, I have an address for you on Airmont Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About 6 months.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Not at the moment.
Okay. On the local charges, I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $1,000 each for a total of $2,000. Those are coming back March 21st. On the Pasco warrant, as I mentioned, the bond has been set at $5,013, and I can't change that. If you're able to post all the bonds, of course, you can get out of jail. You'd be back in court here on the 21st, and you'd have to go down to Pasco to find out when they want you in court. If you can post the bond on the locals but not the Pasco, then we'd give Pasco 5 days to come get you. If you can't post any of them, you'll stay where you are until we resolve your locals, and then you'll go to Pasco. All right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Miller. Morning, Robert. What's your date of birth?
5/6/1992.
Robert, I have a charge of driving on a suspended license, and it appears that you're also currently on felony probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's a probable cause arrest for a VOP. There's a probable cause for that. As to these charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'll use a public defender for right now.
I'll appoint the public defender. On the VOP, of course, the bond is going to be no bond. That case I'll have back on March 20th. They might have told you the 26th, but we're going to have it back on the 20th. And then on the driving charge, I will leave the bond for the schedule, which is the $2,000, but I'll move that also to the 20th so that both of your cases are coming back on the same day. The public defender has been appointed on both cases, and will come to the jail to see you before your court date on March 20th, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Marcus Rhodes. Morning, Marcus. What's your date of birth?
9/16/79.
All right. Marcus, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge that issued that warrant found probable cause for 1 count of dealing in stolen property. Set your bond at $10,000. I can't change that, unfortunately. If you can post that bond, you can get out of jail here, go down to Pasco, find out when they want you in court. If you cannot post it, we'll notify them right away. They'll have 5 days to come get you. It does not take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you were still here 5 days from now, they would bring you back to see me and find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Joshua Rodriguez Vasquez. Morning, Joshua. What's your date of birth?
11/18/1994.
Joshua, I have 3 warrants this morning. All were signed by Judge Toner. In each case, he found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on all 3 warrants is no bond. I cannot change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Toner on the 26th of March, and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
I'm currently enrolled in Withlacoochee Technical College, and if I'm absent for a certain amount of consecutive days, I get withdrawn from the program. Is there any way that we can move the court date forward?
Not a thing I can do this morning, Joshua. Your PD will be out to see you, and maybe they can get you moved up, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Philip Stallone. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
7677.
Philip, the charge this morning is felony domestic battery by strangulation. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD, sir, please.
With the public defender. And it looks like he's got a couple of open cases.
Yes, sir. The state would be seeking a RCO on cases 17 CF 2690 and on 17 MM 3475.
Okay, so Philip, what we're going to do on the new charge is set a bond of $2,500. Condition is that you have no contact with Bridget Davis. I'm sure you heard me explain no contact earlier.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In addition for you, because I'm going to revoke your bond here in a second in the other cases, I'm also specifically ordering you not to call or write her from the jail. And pursuant to that case is going to come back. When's the felony come back? 3-2?
Second.
Felony is set for 3-2.
This case then I'll have also come back March 2nd, so your felonies are together. Your other felony, which is 17 CF 2690, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in that case, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471. So you'll be without bond at least until the 2nd. In that case, we'll be back. Judge Toner can revisit the bond if he wishes. Then I also will revoke your bond in 17 MM 3475. That's a misdemeanor in front of Judge Rupi. That case is coming back on April 5th. You'll be a no bond on that one. The public defender is going to come see about all your cases prior to those dates to see if there's any way to get things resolved or to get your bonds restored, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Donald Tozy. Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
What's your date of birth?
12/19/1967.
Sir, the charge this morning is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. And Mr. Tozy also has an open case date. It's like
Mr. Tozy,
18 MM 217. What's the charge on that one? If anyone can know.
217.
No.
Let me see if I can. possibly of cannabis.
Okay.
Is that what it was? I see the arrest for it.
And state any history that would be notable for this particular charge.
For domestic battery, there was a violation of an injunction on domestic violence and a resisting and battery by strangulation conviction in 2012 out of Brevard County. I'm showing another violation of an injunction, 2 convictions as part of a Brevard 2012. I'm showing another Brevard 2012 case for a violation of an injunction. I'm showing a 2012 Brevard burglary with assault or battery and a battery charge that was dropped. 2012 Brevard disorderly intox. 2011 arrest for battery that was dropped out of Brevard. An FTA 2011 Brevard, another battery arrest in Brevard 2011 that was dropped. I'm showing a supervision Central Florida Reception Center on a felon with gun, weapon or ammo.
That's good.
I can keep going.
No. All right, so Donald, I had that address on Hawthorne Road for you. Is that where you live?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
About 6 months.
You have a job these days?
Part-time.
Okay. Okay. What I'll do in this case is set the bond at $1,000. Condition of the bonds that you'll have no contact with Miss Ferrugia. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand that?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. I'm going to send this case back. I'm going to change the date to March 8th because, of course, you picked up a new charge while out on bond. So in 18 MM 217, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release. We'll hold you out without bond until the 8th of March. Both your cases will be back in front of me on March 8th. If there's a way to resolve them, then we will. If it's appropriate to revisit your bond, we can do that. The public defender is going to come see you at the jail before the 8th of March, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.